Hey guys, how are ya? We wear underwear every day pretty much. Do you have any idea of the history of underwear? Do you know how it revolutionized the loincloth, antiquity and onward? The loincloth is the most rudimentary form of men's underwear, which is a single piece of cloth draped over the groin and hips. They came in all shapes and sizes depending on local cultural influence. Ancient Egyptian loincloths called shanty were made with line and tied toward the front. Since most of the lower classes owned very little clothing, this was deemed acceptable as outerwear. The seafaring Minoans of Crete likewise had an interesting sense of style. What's more, imagery shows them in a plethora of patterns and colors. Loincloths weren't unique to the Mediterranean. We also see them featured in indigenous American cultures between antiquity and the 14th century. Inca men, for instance, wore their loincloths in such a way that a long strip of cloth extended downward. This functioned as an eye-catching decorative piece. A fun fact is Amazonian native people still wear loincloths as traditional garments, going medieval 400 to 1400 AD. First off, we have the knee-length braids. They were popular at first with Celtic and Germanic people in antiquity but saw more widespread use in the Middle Ages. They were loose-fitting line or woolen trousers that were buttoned or tied closed. Braids were fitted with a frontal flap called the codpiece, which could be unfastened. This allowed men to urinate without having to remove the trousers entirely, a truly revolutionary development. Though used as trousers in the early medieval period, they gradually transitioned into men's underwear. Henry VIII of England set an old trend by padding his codpiece, which resulted in men sporting larger and larger packages. It's been speculated that the king actually had syphilis, that the padding contained medicines to alleviate his symptoms. The Industrial Age, 1800 to 1900 AD. During the Age of Enlightenment, men's undergarment designers started prioritizing comfort. In 1868 in Utica, New York, the Union suit was patented. Though it started as a woman's garment, it took off as menswear. The Union suit was buttoned one-piece garment with long sleeves and pants. The Union suit dominated as a men's undergarment throughout the late 19th and early 20th century. The signature edition was that of a buttoned flap on the buttocks that make trips to the toilet a little easier. American boxer John L. Sullivan made the garment popular, naming them long johns, which is the name most know them by. In 1874, C.F. Bennett, while working for a Chicago sporting goods company, made his contribution to men's underwear, the jockstrap. In the late 19th century, most urban centers were laden with uneven cobblestone surfaces, which is difficult for cyclists in Boston, whose boys suffered relentless abuse. Bennett's invention offered a solution. The jockstrap consists of an elastic waistband with a supportive pouch for the boys and two straps attached to the base of the pouch on either side. In some variations, the pouch can house an impact-resistant cup for even more protection. The modern age, 1900 to the present day. The turn of the century brought underwear that is much more recognizable. The first briefs left the line of Chicago's Coppers Inc. on the 19th of January, 1935. These have an elastic band around the waist and both legs near the groin. Finally, it featured a Y-shaped fly for easy access in a jam. It received the infamous cognomen, Tidy Whities. Alongside briefs, boxers entered the market in the 1930s. Though it had a band around the waist, it lacked any along the legs. This resulted in a wider and looser leg section that extended to the middle of the thigh. Between the 20th century and today, we have much more variations, including boxer briefs that were slightly longer along the thigh. Also, we have midway briefs, the longest briefs. Born in the 1980s, they are among the longest modern men's underwear out there. Go check La Plaza and you'll find your favorite undergarments.